Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're just gonna get people in here and then get started. It looks like we've got two speakers that are gonna be going for today. We got Rich, who I'm gonna invite up here, and then we got Mike. Hey, what's going on, Mike? What's going
Hey,
on,
how's
man?
it going, Angelo? How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Yeah, how's everything?
Everything's going well.
Oh, so yeah, you've been popping up in the chat quite frequently over the last week or so. So it's good that you're able to hop on and we can chat on here.
Yeah, no problem. I'm usually not in the Discord as much, but been very active as you said this past week.
Yeah, because you had that issue where your account got scaled and something happened, right? Oh man, trader.
Yeah, and thank you for straightening that out and getting that taken care of.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess tell the people. I know you did an interview. Did that interview drop today?
Yes, it did. It did actually. I was surprised. I was actually like just on YouTube, and I love YouTube, and then I see my face, and I'm like, oh, they dropped my interview. Okay, I was surprised. So yes, it
That's
did
great
drop
though.
to.
So man, so obviously you've been having some success with trading. Why don't you do a bit of an introduction for the people and let us know, how did you kind of get into trading and just give a bit of background on who you are.
Okay, well, again, my name is Mike Saunders. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania originally. Now living in the Atlanta area. Got introduced to trading back in, I think it was 2012. I want to say 2011, 2012. It was a friend of mine introduced me to option trading, and then that's initially where I started learning how to trade. But then eventually I switched over to Forex. I still like options, but I don't trade options anymore. And now I just exclusively trade Forex. I was trading futures, but I stopped trading futures too. I don't know if you remember in that interview. For me personally, like less is more. So the less things I trade, the better I tend to do. So now I'm just all Forex. So I've been trading Forex for about almost going on 4 years now. Had a lot of failure and little success over those 4 years. I have failed. I can't even count how many challenges I failed at this point, and blown up a couple of pretty big accounts as well. But I think all of those things have led me to where I am now, and I would say I'm a little more consistent. I still want to be more consistent, but just finding my way now, and having some success here lately, just doing what I'm doing. So now it's just about refining what I'm doing, what I'm currently doing, and sticking to that.
Yeah, so thanks for the intro. We also have Rich on here. Rich, why don't you come on and introduce yourself as well, if you're on the mic.
Sure, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me, Angelo. Yeah, so my name is Rich Mazzatelli. I am originally from New Jersey. I'm actually in Pennsylvania now. I've been in Forex probably since like 2017, 2018, roughly. Kind of similar to Mike, I had a friend introduce me to it, and then we kind of learned a little bit together, messed around. I tried to do a couple personal accounts, and I realized pretty quick that you don't really, unless you put a good amount in, it's gonna take forever to get anything satisfying. So then probably I think I found you guys in the Forex League actually, maybe about a year now. So in November, I believe I joined. And yeah, and then I came across so you guys do the funding. I started I was learning a little bit before that, and then I really kind of took a deep dive into things once I saw that you guys offered the funding. And similar to kind of, I feel like in maybe everybody's story, you fail a couple of challenges in the beginning, you learn along the way. And recently, I kind of started cutting down on what I did trade. I'm focusing on really a very few pairs and just doing what I've been doing lately, and got a couple payouts. So it's been great.
So you guys know each other.
No, it's funny. It's got kind of the same kind of story.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So it seems like Rich, you actually came in through Forex like that.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, so it's interesting because for people that don't know, this all did kind of start with Forex League. I had been doing Forex League for about 4 years or so, or 3.5 years before we started TFT, and we were just like anyone else selling courses, creating a community online for traders, for people to meet each other. But once TFT started, we started doing the free challenges. So every lifetime member gets a 10K free challenge every single month, with the opportunity to like earn a challenge account for free. So it's interesting that you came in through there. Was Forex League like the first spot you kind of started like learning trading from, or where'd you kind of start learning from?
Yeah, no, I learned from someone else before. I don't even think their website's up anymore. But I learned kind of the basics from somebody before, and then I stopped with them and joined the Forex League, and then kind of went through the course there and continued learning.
Yeah, and I pretty much tell everyone it's like we're not selling, there's no like holy grail to any of this. So there's not like secret sauce. Like I know all the people selling courses are like, I got the secret sauce. Like there's really
Mhm.
no secret sauce. And this is what we really say in Forex leagues. It's just like you have to realize that you're the one that has to take the trades. You're the one that has to be confident in your trading strategy. Like you're the one that has to understand the fundamentals, technicals. So at some point, you could buy this course, that course, whatever course, but it really just comes down to you. So it's like you have to back test. Like you were saying, you got to get serious about trading, and treat it like a business. It's kind of our slogan. So, considering like, let's hear like where are you at? So you recently got a payout. Was that like your first payout with the funded account, or how long have you been getting payouts?
For me or Mike, Angelo, sorry.
With you, Rich, first.
Oh, yeah. No, this would be my second one that I had recently. So I've had only two so far, but yeah, so it's my first funded account with you guys.
Now, what do you do in like your career?
Yeah, so I actually work for basically a car broker. So I just help people nationwide buy and sell cars, do all the research and all the legwork for them. So that's what I do on daily.
And like, what do they? Do you talk to them at all about trading? Like, what do you tell
No,
them?
no, yeah, no, they don't. No, my coworkers wouldn't get it. One of my friends kind of is a little bit into. He does more crypto, so he gets. I talked to him about it, and yeah, my fiance is aware of what I do on the side too. So
So it's funny. It's like it's a side thing that you don't necessarily tell people about. What about you, Mike? Like, what do you do with in your career? And like, is there any communication between you and like your coworkers, if you have any, about what you're doing with this?
Yeah, so I'm a network engineer. In the daytime, I essentially make computer networks talk to each other. I do have one other coworker that he trades, but he uses like EAs. So him and I, we talk a little bit, but not much really. I don't really share too much with the people I work with about what I do. But yeah, I'm a network engineer in the daytime and a day trader.
So we're gonna keep going back and forth between the two of you. I got some questions. And also you guys that are in the chat, normally how we do this is post in the general if you guys want a question answered by either of them. They're both funded traders, both of them have gotten paid out recently. So if you guys have any questions, anything you want answered by them or anything you want answered by me, just go ahead, go post in the chat and I'll look through there. But I'm gonna ask a question, then Mike, you can go first, and then Rich. The world that we're in is like changing, and you mentioned, Mike, about your colleague use EAs, which essentially are like robots, and with a lot of things coming out even recently that's more mainstream, like the chatbots and whatever else, this like whole art thing that's going viral, the AI art. Like, what do you guys think, or how do you guys think like AI and just automation and everything is going to affect trading as we move into a world where like those trading bots and just bots in general are going to be doing more and more things? We'll start off with you, Mike.
Yeah, I honestly wish they didn't exist because they make price, do crazy things sometimes. But I don't want to sit here and kind of bomb on EAs. Have never used one. I trade manually. But I do think that a lot you get a lot of these large hedge funds now that they're starting to use AI and things like that in the markets. It definitely plays a factor, and sometimes it can impact price negatively. Sometimes it impacts price in a positive way. But overall, I can't speak a whole lot about it because I'm more of a manual trader, and I prefer to do it myself. It's just and one of those reasons is because when your robot or your EA is trading, it's unless you have it programmed. So like it's trading pretty much all the time. I don't mean 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it could be literally in there making trades every single day. And based on how you program your EA or that robot, it may not be that strategy may not the market conditions may not be appropriate for whatever way that EA is programmed to trade at the time. And so I think that's something that as a manual trader, I would like to say, I think that's one of the advantages that you have over trading with the EA. But there are people that program EAs and they do very well for them. So I would say to anyone, if it works well for you and it's working for you, you continue to do it. But if not, then maybe have to look in a different direction. So hopefully that answered your question, Angelo.
Yeah, I share similar thoughts. What about you, Rich? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have too much experience with them. I do all my stuff manual. I take only a couple trades maybe throughout the week. Sometimes I let them write out. So I don't think it would really work for at least the way I do and the way I look at my trades. So I'm sure there's definitely, like Mike mentioned, there's definitely a spot for it. But yeah, they seem to kind of go all the time, and there may not be the right conditions, like Mike mentioned.
That being said, like somebody just posted in the chat, I think prop firms should ban all EAs. You guys think EAs should be allowed? Like, what are your overall thoughts on just them in general?
I don't. Yeah, I'm really not experienced enough to really give a good answer on that. I think that prop firms, I think they should have some rules and some restrictions around it because as a prop firm, you have to protect yourself. You're a business, in a sense, and there's us funded traders out there. We want the prop firms to stay in the business so we can continue to trade and get paid. So I just think as prop firms that they have some rules and restrictions, just don't allow any EA in the firm that could just go crazy and do whatever. But I don't think they should be banned from all prop firms. I just think that prop firms just have to look at their business model if and have some rules and restrictions on EAs. If they allow them, they allow them. If they don't, then they don't. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I'd say the EA in the hands of the person who knows exactly what it is and how to use it is dangerous. Everyone else, they'll lose money. So I have this thing where I really believe that from what I've seen with how people use them and their success, if you either make it yourself or you're very much involved in the day-to-day maintenance of the strategy, like to your point, you're very on top of what sessions it's trading in, what the settings are, continuing to adjust it, almost like trading in a way manually. You have to be manually updating it in order to have it be successful. You have a chance of it being successful. If you think you're just going to turn an EA on and let it run, like all these guys on Instagram that say pass your phase one, whatever, it's long term not going to be successful for you. Whether it's phase one or phase two or the funded, eventually it will just fail, and that's kind of what we see. So from our standpoint, there's an opportunity, like just generally, there's definitely an opportunity with EAs to make money, like EAs, AI, all that, like the congregation of more information and making decisions definitely can lead to better results. But again, people putting it in the wrong hands or people's hands that don't know what they're doing and just is not going to work. So that being said, it sounds like both you guys are manual traders. What would you say, like when you're making decisions on whether to get into trades or not, without getting too much into your details, like what are the deciding factors for you to enter a trade? We'll go
Yeah,
with
for
Mike.
me,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, for me, it's all about my setup, and I don't mind sharing. I'm an ICT trader. I trade fair value gaps, and I also do some discretionary trading. Right, so I don't use any indicators at all. I'm reading raw price action. I tend to do a lot better when I am just trading my setups versus my discretionary trades. So I'm cutting back a lot more on my discretionary and follow more of my setups. But for the most part, the setup it has to be there. And then for me personally, it's also the time of day. Once it starts getting around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, in my experience, from what I've seen so far, like things kind of slow down. You got the London session, London, Europe closing going down. Things kind of slow up. Price does some funky stuff during those times. And then by the time the afternoon starts back up, if the setup presents itself for me, I may get in it or I may just wait because I'm usually close my trades out by the end of the New York session. I don't really like holding overnight. Not to say I never do, but I rarely do hold my trades overnight because just you got the spread hours that you got to account for. You got the Asian session, which is normally slow. And then I'm asleep during the London session and price just goes crazy sometimes during those times. So for the most part, I'm looking for my setup and I usually wake up around 5 a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning. So if I can get my trade on somewhere between, I would say 5 a.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then based on when I get it on, I may look for a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, maybe 5-to-1 risk reward ratio. But I'm going by my plan more than anything, and I'm waiting for my setup to happen.
Cool. What about you, Rich?
Yeah, I keep it real simple now anyway. When I first started, you try all these different things, but I just do certain zones and then look off of price action off of them. Just the areas of importance, and then I just try to catch it off of off an important zone, like a 4 hour, something like that. Even the dailies. And then just at least try to do a 2-to-1 for the most part, and then kind of watch it throughout the day, see if it kind of keeps on moving. I'll move it a little bit further as it goes down, but just I keep it real simple on my end, just zone it out and then look for that price action.
So it sounds like you're really using like the Forex League, the swing strategy, like in a way, very close. Like you're a swing trader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, and I've even before like for example, that's kind of like what I learned, and it just works for me because it kept everything real simple, and it's just really easy to you don't get caught up in all the the consolidation, and you just wait. You got to have some patience, which is tough to build up in the beginning, but once you see that it works, and once you get a couple good trades going, then you feel a lot better about waiting until it hits somewhere.
Yeah, I'll say this, since we started Funded Trader and I'm involved in like several other projects right now, like I've just been really busy and I haven't been trading as much. And for me, we still do the Sunday market blitz every week where I, do my analysis to see what's good for the week. And if I were to just take trades only on Sundays for the entire year, I personally believe I'd be more profitable than if I were to be just trading all week in and out every single day. It really just comes down to like so many people are worried about making money in the moment, making money for this month. But what's the point if you make 10% this month if you lose 50% the rest of the year, right? So it's like you got to really have a long-term thinking on all this. That's why I mean I like swing trading. I like trading the higher time frames more. It's definitely more chill. But to your point, you got to have a ton of patience to be waiting for the right setups.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Patience is key. Yeah, it's key. I think this week is a perfect example of that. When I looked at the economic calendar, just to look at what economic reports would come out this week and what could possibly make the markets move. It wasn't really much on there, and there wasn't any geopolitical news that was pushing the price. So in my experience, weeks like this, like there's no follow through on a price. It'll go sideways, up and down in a range. And I tend to do horrible during these kind of market conditions. And I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna sit out this week because next week looks a lot more juicy. And I did take a couple of trades earlier in this week, and they were losers. I think it was like 2 trades, and I said, you know what? That's it. I'm stopping. I wait until next week. But that patience, though, having that patience, you can't stress that enough. You have to be disciplined with your trading. You have to be patient. You have to fight FOMO. You have to fight greed because your strategy, the market conditions may not be conducive for your strategy. So for me personally, this week, like again, I'm an ICT trader. My setup wasn't there at all this week, at all. And two discretionary trades that I took, they ended up being losers. Not big losers, but they were still losers. So having that patience and waiting until the market conditions are right for your strategy are huge. And I'm sure a lot of traders would be a lot more successful if they did that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, like, most people don't do well in weeks of consolidation, right? So the lack of volatility in December is why a lot of people don't like to trade, in December and whatnot. Everybody does better in trending markets. Just the moves are, like you said, expanding, not contracting. Psychologically, a lot harder to deal with holding trades when you're seeing like structure that doesn't make as much sense because there's not a lot of volume that's in there. But at the same time, if you have a lot of experience, you could definitely still take advantage of consolidating markets, and can be aware of the situation. So how long have each of you been trading for?
I've been trading since I'm gonna say 2012 with there was mostly options off and on, and I would say Forex for about the last 4 years for me.
That's a good chunk of time, 4 years.
Yeah,
And you said, I think
absolutely.
you went into that, like that you like when did you actually become, profitable in this 4 year time frame?
I would say probably over the last year, for the most part, over the last year, I've had the most success that I've ever had over. I'll say this year alone in 2022 has been the most success I've ever had, and I've made up for the last 10 to 11 years this year alone.
Wild. I mean, congratulations, obviously, to you. It's one of the things that I always kind of told myself was when I was investing money and trying to learn how to trade and doing businesses and stuff. I was just like, one of these years or one of these months are gonna hit, and then it'll help make up for, all these losses, and just try to remain consistent. Well, may I ask, like, why did you keep going? Like in the face of, failure and losing money, like what kept you motivated? Like why did you keep going?
Because I felt as though it was something I could do. The potential for the freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. There's nothing else in the world like this particular opportunity legally at that. And then also is that I just knew that I could do it, and I knew the only thing that was in my way and that was stopping me was me. It wasn't the markets. It wasn't the prop firm. It wasn't the rules. It wasn't my strategy. It was me psychologically. And if I could get better and be better psychologically, then I knew that I could make it and I could do it. And I wanted to do well for my family and be able to provide for them better. And those are the things that kept me going. And again, there's nothing like trading in the world. You literally just need an internet connection and discipline and strong psychology, and you can make it in this game. And you have to be strict with your risk management. So those are the reasons that I kept going and didn't quit.
That's amazing. I mean, it's not easy at the end of the day. None of this stuff is easy. Certainly facing failure, facing adversity, and probably being told by other people. I mean, it doesn't sound like you're discussing too much like trading with others, but if you are, a lot of people tend to have a negative connotation around it. So obviously props to you, for making it out. Congrats on the big year this year. Got to finish it up strong. What about you, Rich? How long you been going at this for?
Probably when I really started trying to do my own account and, put in my personal money was 2018. And then, I realized quickly after I kind of blew one or two of my personal accounts, I really started being a lot more consistent. Probably last year, like 2021, is when I got real consistent. And then, probably definitely this last year was definitely one of the better years that I've had. And then having the funding account was huge. So yeah, that was definitely, I'd say the last 2 years, probably the better of the last five.
Yeah, I feel you. So it's like very, very similar. So right
Mhm.
now, like, tell me a bit about your strategy when it comes to the funded accounts. Are you guys trading on like multiple prop firms? Do you guys take multiple challenges at the same time? Like, what is the overall strategy when it comes to trying to get funded? And like, again, do you trade with multiple firms?
Yes, I do trade with multiple firms. Sometimes I do take multiple challenges. I'm in a couple other challenges right now too, because I'm trying to replace my day job. Like I want to, I need the time freedom here. You know, I'm getting older here, and time is getting short. So I have a plan, and I'm putting that plan in motion, and it's coming to fruition. So yes, I do trade for multiple firms, and take multiple challenges also. Trading is a business, so with some of my profits, I'll take some of it and go and do some other challenges also, and just using my same strategy across all the other various firms.
By you, Rich?
Yeah, I don't trade for another firm. It's just been the funded trader right now. And then I'm doing another challenge to try to get with you guys to get another one and hopefully merge them. And then my plan is to just have kind of merge two of them and kind of hang out with that for a while. Let that go, trade with that, and maybe add another one if I do well, add another one after that.
Do you guys, I always ask this question on the AMAs. Do you guys like when you finally got your first payout, like however you found the site, whether it was through Forex League or maybe Mike, you found it through something else, and you go on the website, you buy a challenge, right? You read the reviews, you look at the YouTube videos about people getting paid. Then you get an account, you're like trading on the dashboard, right? You're looking at your results, you have a funded account, and then you hit withdraw. Like, when did it actually hit for you guys that this was real, like that you could actually pull money out of this platform? Like, what did you guys think like when you got paid? Like, walk me through like how you guys just feel about the platform in general.
Yeah, I think that the platform and the process is great. And when it was real for me is when it went from TFT to deal to my bank account. And I log in to my bank account and I see the numbers and I'm like, yes, right. And it's just like such a great relief. And it's and then being able to share that with my wife and my kids. And it was an awesome feeling. If I could share this real quick, my first payout with TFT was for a little over 16 grand, and it came right on time because it was right around my wife and I's our anniversary, our 10-year anniversary. So we wasn't planning on doing anything major, but with that payout, we took a trip to Mexico. We went and stayed in this resort. You guys check this resort out in Tulum, Mexico. It's called the Conrad. It's like a 5-star luxurious resort. Went to see the pyramids while we was down there, got some exclusive tequila, and just had a great time and celebrated our 10-year anniversary. And that all came, it was because of the payout that I got from TFT. So when I see that number and it hits your bank account, it's a great feeling. And then to be able to repeat that process. I just got another payout, not as big as my last one, but still a decent, a nice, it's a payout nonetheless. And then to have that process repeat again. So then like you feel like, okay, this isn't a fluke, this is real. You see other people getting paid, but once you get paid, it's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, and man, it's just there's so much to be said of obviously when the money hits your bank account, like that's great, and that's like the time when it's validated, but like then you're able to spend it on whether it's pleasure or debt or whatever. That's when it really probably clicks. And like I just wonder, like obviously you knew people are getting paid and that it's real, like FTMO's been around, people are getting paid. But like how did your mentality shift at all once you actually pulled money out of this thing? Like did it affect you like negatively? Did it have like a positive effect on you? Like how did your mentality shift once you actually got paid?
For me, I think I said this in the interview, but I was looking to actually reduce how much. I think at the time of the interview, I was trading 3 instruments, and I reduced that down to just one now. Now all I trade is just GU, pound USD. The reasons for that is because I understand myself, and I tend to, after I do well, I tend to go into drawdown. And for one, I didn't want to go to a deep drawdown again. And for two, I wanted to be able to have more payouts, more consistently. So how it affected me psychologically when I got paid was that I want this feeling, I want to feel this feeling more often. And to feel this more often, I have to understand me psychologically and what my pitfalls and my downfalls are. And sometimes I can overtrade. So if I'm trading two or three things and then I'm digging myself into a hole, now that feeling, that euphoria of getting a payout, now I have to wait longer for it. And in that process of waiting longer for it, it could be discouraging. So I hope I'm making sense here. So when I getting the payouts, I want to feel that feeling again because it feels so good. It feels so great. It feels so awesome to not only for me but for my family as well. So I want to repeat that again. What I don't want to repeat is having to constantly dig myself out of a hole, waiting for another payout or not even getting a payout. So being as though I did get a payout, I think it's helped me psychologically to just be a better trader, to be more patient, to trade less. Because when you got a decent size account, you don't really need to trade a whole lot. You can do a couple trades a week and make a decent amount of money. So getting those payouts, wanting to continue to feel that feeling more often has helped me cut back on my trading, on how much I trade and what I trade, which ultimately is me risking less and being able to easier get more payouts, if that's making sense.
Yes, it sounds like it's shifted you to be a bit more conservative and like realistic, where it's like, let me pull, instead of just trying to go for the moonshot here, let me just pull money out of this thing and just keep it moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. That's a great way to
Yeah.
summarize it. Yep.
I mean, it's the right mentality to have because it's just the more realistic you are. Like this goes back to what I said earlier. If you're pulling out 2,000 a month for 12 months in a row, end of the year, you're making 24K. Wouldn't you rather do that than make 6,000 one month and then blow the account the rest of the year and then you only made 6,000 the whole year?
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so it's so challenging to think in terms of like year or 6 months or long term, but it really does. There is something to be said of just small results over time, like the compounding effect of that. And also, the reality is there are many people right now that even have scaled up the funded accounts with us. And so, if you have a 400K account and you end up scaling it up just because you made 1,000 a month, or in that situation, you'd have to make a little bit more, but you know what I mean? You make the minimum, the 4% over the 3 months to get scaled up, and then you get another 100K in capital. I mean, that 4,000 you made could then turn to 6,000 or 7,000. It's just the power of having more money, the power of having more capital to trade with. And I think what we've seen is the patient trader wins. We put out some stats, the people that are like 70% of people are failing their funded accounts in the first 2 weeks. So if you guys want to beat the odds, like take as little trades as possible in the first 2 weeks. Like don't come out the gate firing. Like there's so many people that are just begging to get their account like ASAP, and then those are mostly the people that are failing it like almost immediately. So it's like the psychological game that you play is very difficult when it comes to this. Getting over to you, Rich, like when you finally got a payout, how did things change for you, if at all?
Yeah, no, definitely. It changed. I mean, I was trying to work on my patience to begin with, and then once you get that payment and once that hits your bank account, then it just helps with that so much more because you realize that, all right, that patience paid off, and you want to keep doing that. You want to keep that up, and then I feel like me and Mike are similar, so I apologize. I like saying like similar to what he says, but
No,
um,
it's all good. It's
yeah,
all good here.
yeah, no,
Experience.
it made me kind of focus on just like, a few pairs, if that. I think I maybe do two at this point. I do, pound JPY, and NZD Jappy once in a while, but that one consolidates. But that's kind of the two I really just watch most of the time. And then, because it's worked for me, and then once you once you trade a pair, like a lot of times you just kind of end up getting used to how it is, and then you start to, get a good idea of where the trades make sense and where, where you don't want to get caught up in the sideways movements. But yeah, you get that payment and that patience, definitely helps. You get that satisfaction and you keep it going.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of like once you get paid as well, there definitely is you either learn or you don't, right? You either do what you guys are doing where you take that lesson, you kind of adjust the mentality of getting into this, and because of that you're more successful, or you let emotions take over and kind of battle that path of not being able to get paid again for a while. So there's really just two ways of going about it. And like a lot of people, not to say this is the case, but once you get paid out and have some success, you should be at a level where you can replicate those results, right? Not to say that it's easy, because like anything else, trading is just an extremely difficult sport. And I actually was listening to or not sport, but a skill. I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about like martial arts and jujitsu, and they were saying how these people, like it was just crazy how much these people train, especially the best people in the world. They're training like almost every single day, multiple times a day. They're basically obsessed with this. And then if they get off of their regimen, even for a month or a week or 2 weeks, maybe not a week, but maybe 2 weeks, and they try to go back and to compete or whatever, maybe they're a little out of shape, maybe they're not as sharp in their technique. They're just not going to be in stride with the competition. They're just not going to be as good as someone else who was on top of their training and on top of their technique and everything like that. Like those little edges is what makes all of the difference. And I think that applies to trading as well. Like I think everyone, whether your strategy is to sit and wait like a turtle, or it's to be like a rabbit and be all over the place and trading constantly. At the end of the day, whenever you press buy or sell, you're basically in competition with the market. You're in competition with everyone else that's has an idea about where price is going. So it's like how great can you make those decisions versus all the other people that are also making simultaneously all these decisions. I think it takes a lot of discipline to make money. For you guys, for anyone listening, these two have made money. So it's definitely worth taking what they're saying, even if it's the same thing, even if you guys are both saying the same exact thing. I just think it's valuable to hear your guys' input, because we all know that not a lot of people are successful, whether it's prop firms, trading, investing in general. It's not an easy game to play. So props to you guys. I want to ask, I know you gotta hop off, Mike, like pretty much now.
No, actually, I can stay on. My wife is gonna go pick up the kids, so I'm good.
You're good? All right, cool.
Yep.
So I want to ask, like, what do you say is really your key to success with trading, each of you?
Yeah, I would definitely say number one, two, and three is risk management. I would say number four is psychological understanding myself and trying to do everything I can to mitigate some of the self-destructive behavior I've had in the past. I'll be honest and transparent with you guys. Like I have anxiety issues. I get easily frustrated, and in the past, and even with my current account with TFT, it manifests itself in my trading at times. So I'm constantly working on there's only two things I can control when it comes to trading: my risk management and myself. That's it. The market is going to do whatever it's going to do. So I stopped trying to impose my will on the market. I've gotten better, much better with my risk management, and even more than that, much better with just my own psychology. So that's why in my interview and even here, I say for me, I understand myself, and like less is more for me. So if I'm trading less, there's less frustration, there's less time in front of the chart, that's less that I'm risking, because these are all pitfalls that have hurt me in the past. And being able to be better at those things is what has made me a better trader overall. And also just sticking to one strategy. I'll admit I have strategy hopped. I've probably tried 10 to 15 strategies, and And some of them worked, but my psychology just it wasn't there yet. But now I have one strategy that I just go by, and I follow that to the T. For the most part, I'm still getting better. I'm not perfect, but more than anything has been my risk management, and fortifying my psychology, and constantly working on that.
What about you, Rich?
Yeah. I mean, risk management. I'm sorry, is yeah, definitely huge. It's huge, and to me, it's the patience. You don't have to be in something, every day. I think people think they have to, oh, I got to make money, or I got to be in something and do it every day, and I think that's the worst, because of course, I think I've tried that, and in the beginning, and it never worked. Maybe you catch one or two here or there, but most of the time you're getting stuck in some nonsense going on the charts. So yeah, I mean, it's just the patience is the biggest thing.
Yeah, and for people that are in the call and they're struggling with risk management, what do you guys suggest they do to get started and get on the right path?
It depends on where you're at, right? So, and I'm not going, I'll be honest. If I'm taking a challenge, I'm a little more aggressive with my risk management because of the time frame. But once funded, I know there's this, like the standard of risking no more than 1%. But listen, if you are with a prop firm, if you're risking 1% per trade, you're risking way too much. Let's just say if you have $100,000 account and the max drawdown is 10%. So that means you only got 10,000 to work with. If you're risking 1%, then you're only giving yourself 10 chances, right? You 10 trades and you're done. That's it. You're risking way too much if you're risking 1% per trade. So I would say you take the drawdown. This is what I do personally. I take the drawdown 5. I don't know where I came up with 25. It was 20. Then I cut it down to 25. And I'm actually thinking about cutting that back even. Stay in the game for the long term. This is a huge source of income. And I want to take as many shots as possible. And you have to account for when you go on a losing streak. You are going to go on a losing streak. And 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to lose more trades than you win. So I would say for people that's out there, stop risking 1%. Don't do that. It's too much. You're not giving you're not leaving much room for error. And you're going to be out the game soon, very quickly. You have to account for it when you go on a losing streak. You have to account for when your psychology isn't as strong as it is. You have to account for when the market conditions are not right for your strategy. You have to account for all of those things. And the only way you can do that is by reducing how much you're risking per trade and how often you're trading as well.
I agree. What about you, Rich? What's your take on risk management for anyone that needs help?
Yeah, that was well said, Mike. um, Definitely, I try and do now a little bit less than one. I don't have an exact number, but I definitely do try and do a little bit less than 1%. Because you gotta cover that drawdown. You gotta make sure that you're not gonna get screwed out of it right away. And there's times where you can't predict the market. We think we can, but we can't. And there's times it's gonna go crazy and may go total opposite way for no reason. And either you have your stop loss, or maybe you have it a little bit bigger, and you can kind of take that drawdown, and then maybe it goes the other way or something. That helps, because you're not doing that whole 1%. You're not doing more than that, where it's gonna make you blow your account. So if you can, if your psychology lets you, try and get into that, doing less than one, and making sure you have that again, that patience. And if you don't feel right, if things aren't going well that day, don't even bother. Don't put any trades in, because you end up trying to go over the place, trying to catch something, and it never works.
So I know for Mike, you had said that your goal is to become more full-time, have more autonomy in your work, more freedom. So yeah, you have a goal of becoming a full-time trader. For Rich, like, do you currently have a job? Like, do you have a goal of becoming full-time with trading, or like what are you trying to really do with all of this, with the money you're earning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I like my job because I can do it from home, so it gives me, that flexibility. But yeah, I definitely want this to be, just extra income to add on to what I do. Because I think me personally, like I know myself, if I was to have to depend on it, as a main income, I don't think it would work for me. I probably would do some stupid stuff. So, me having that job on the side and having times to kind of put a trade in, not, walk away for a little while, it's helped me in the long run. So I'm looking forward to be more just kind of adding to my, an extra source of income.
Nice. And then for you, Mike, you're just at the point where it's like, I'm trying to be a trader. Fuck this. Like, I'm out.
Pretty much so, but I do have some other plans. Once I'm paying down some debt with the profits from my trade, so getting out of debt as well, and then looking, I got some investments that I'm looking to make. So take some of this money and put it in some more tangible assets like real estate and looking at starting a venture capital company as well. But also still being a full-time trader as well, and full-time trading for me is not a lot of time in front of the charts because I only trade one pair, and I've put so much time in to understanding my strategy and everything else that it doesn't take me much time to do my analysis, but yeah, but just taking the money from trading and putting it into other investment vehicles to produce. So trading isn't the only income I'll rely on, but having other vehicles for income as well.
So there's a lot of people, younger traders, that are in the Discord, in the chat, and I even see them discussing about school, discussing about university, what to do. These people aren't as established in their careers yet. What advice to each of you guys, because you guys are obviously a little more established in your career. What advice do you have for them who they haven't started a career yet? They're super ambitious about trading. Maybe they've gotten a payout so far. Yeah, like overall, what advice do you have for them?
I would say for younger guys, they're kind of at an advantage because you're probably out, depending on how old you are, your level of responsibility is probably definitely not at the level of mine. I'm married, 5 kids, houses, et cetera, et cetera. But you still need to find another source of income and not let trading be your primary source. You continue working on it and you continue building it up, but you have to account for it. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I'm trying to hopefully drill this in people's head. You have to account for the times you lose. You have to account for the times when psychologically you're not you may be having a bad day. You have to account for those times. Is they're going to happen? It happens to the 7, 8 figure traders in the world. It happens to everybody. So to be able to do that, you have to have another source of income, whether it's a job, whether it's driving Uber, DoorDash, whatever it may be. So just having that other source of income, and then also when you have another source of income, it can help you out mentally in your trading because now you know that I'm not totally dependent on an income from trading because I have this other thing over here that I do as also. Until your trading gets to a point to where hey, you make so much money from trading that you take half of it, you put it away for savings or whatever. But you can figure it out. But I would say just have another source of income. It's just going to help you psychologically with your trading as well. You continue with your trading, you continue building it up, whatever your plan is for it. But until you reach that goal, have another source of income. And even once you do become a full-time trader, have a nest egg of that you can cover your expenses for 6 to 12 months or something until you can recover. Because we all fall victim to it. Blown accounts, blown challenges, blown accounts. So you have to have redundancy in your income to summarize it up.
I agree. I'm gonna echo what you said that anyone that's super ambitious about becoming a trader, that's you're very early on in the process. You gotta realize that you gotta work. You need money. Don't be begging for accounts in the Discord. Don't be that guy. Just get a job. You had mentioned Uber. Uber is a job you could get. It's obviously not a great job, but it's a job nonetheless. And there's many different ways to make money. Whether if you're in university and you're almost finished, you're gonna have a degree, so might as well use your degree to get a job, right? So I think that people fall in love with this idea that they're 22, 21, and become an entrepreneur when you're 23 and be a millionaire and all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, that can happen. It's not out of the realm of imagination. Seen it many times in many people. But even look at myself I'm 26 now, and when I was 21, I graduated university. I took a year off. I was trading, trying to make money, trying to make it big, and then I had to just get a job. Got a job, for a couple of years, but still building my business on the side, trading on the side, and then got to a point where then I was gonna make more money, doing all this stuff, spending my time on trading and everything else, than at my job. So, don't pull the trigger too early, guys. If you're thinking of quitting your job, if you're thinking of not quitting, dropping out of school, that's my advice, is just don't pull the trigger too early. What about you, Rich? What's your advice for some of these young guys?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you, Angelo. Don't pull the trigger. I gather as many skills and as much knowledge as you can. Definitely. I mean, get multiple sources of income. That's, I think, the name of the game right now. Be smart with the money. Still work, because I think if you speak to any half successful trader, they'd probably say it took them years to even get somewhat consistent, and probably most of us, still work. So it's, get as much skills and knowledge as you can.
Yeah, and at some point, what's interesting is that although like you said before, you have a job, it's kind of the anchor right now of your life. Your trading's on the side, it kind of helps balance it out, so you're not over stressed and everything like that. But like it's very interesting to me, because I certainly know, and there's even people in TFT who've gotten paid out a couple $100,000. You get paid out 300 grand, and then you make maybe one investment. Maybe you put that into a property, maybe you find a fund to put that into that generates a decent return, whatever. All of a sudden you're generating a couple $1,000s a month passively, off of this nest egg that you have. And maybe you're a bit younger, you don't have as much responsibilities. And then it kind of changes your situation a little bit, because you have that security in the form of the investment that's generating some passive income, off of your capital. And then that you can unlock some more freedom. And then you might be in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm gonna be technically like a full-time trader. I'm just gonna be an entrepreneur at that point and just invest and trade and start other businesses and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to get at is, like, you never know how much money you would need to accept that situation. For me personally, when I quit my job 4 years ago or something, I was like negative, and I didn't even care, because I was just like, fuck it. But that the more sane person is gonna want some safety and whatnot. So you never know what that level is for you. You might be like I was, where you just were like, I'm all in, I'm gonna make this happen. I was starting to make some money, and I knew that I could make more if I put more time into it. But I did have some debts, but I was just that confident. Or you could just be someone who's like, I'm gonna wait until I have a ton of investments going. And it all depends what levels you're at. So I say everyone just be respectful. Like, everyone's different, where everyone's at, and that just kind of is what it is. But yeah, that being said, let's wrap it up. A couple more questions here. I'm just gonna do some like rapid fire, and anyone that wants to ask a question to these guys, just post in general. We are gonna do the giveaway, so post in general if you have a question. I'm gonna pick somebody that's on the session right now, for the giveaway. But real quick, what platform do you guys prefer, MT4 or MT5?
I don't think it matters to me, actually. I just use TradingView, and then I just place the orders on MT4 or MT5. Sorry. I'll go with MT5. It's a little more modernized, a little bit. I'll say MT5.
MT5 for you. What about you, Rich?
Yeah, same. We go off chart off TradingView and then put everything in. And right now I'm using MT5, so MT5.
What's your favorite pair to trade? I think Mike, you said it was GU for you.
Yes, I love me some GU.
Why is that? Why do you like GU?
I was big on GJ too, pound yen. Man, pound yen, that thing it'll whipsaw so bad. The GU will too. I used to trade EU as well. I like the way the GU moves. It just like it moves. It doesn't move as much as GJ, but it moves enough where you can still get some decent gains. And sometimes when the trade is really going in my favor, I like to stack my trades up, and I'm able to do that with GU. But it doesn't move as wildly or as fast as say like a GJ, pound CAD, or gold. But it can move enough. Like even on a mediocre day, right? You could, man, you can get 40, 50, 60, 75 pips out of it. So those are my reasons why. I love GU.
What about you, Rich?
Mine is currently anyway, just because I've been on it and being pretty successful. GJ, so GBP Jappy.
That's funny. Yeah, because I mean GJ is pretty crazy pair.
Yes,
Yeah, it
GJ
moves
is.
pretty quick, but
It's done wonders for me, and it has also made me pull out. As you guys can see, I don't even have any hair, so it's made me pull out the little, the little hair on my head that I've had too. But yeah, GJ is wild.
All right, so next question, what's more important for you guys, technicals or fundamentals?
For me, it's a combination of both. Honestly, I would have to say with fundamentals, I don't care what nobody says. There's two things that make the market move: geopolitical news and economic reports. One of the two or a combination of the two, and the technicals are a reflection of those things. So I want to say both. If I've really had to pick one, I'll probably go with the fundamentals, because what's going on in the world is what is affecting the price of currency. We've seen it this morning. The CPI report comes out, and look what price did. It made a little herky jerk move, but there wasn't no continuation. Then it started chopping up a little bit. It didn't just do that out the blue. It was a reason it did that. And that was because of the inflation report that came out. And next week you got FOMC, you got the British monetary policy statement next week, the Euro statement next week, and I think there's some more major economic reports next week. So I'm pretty sure price is it won't be like this week. So you know what, I'll say fundamentals, and then technicals is a reflection of the fundamentals.
Fair enough. I agree with you. What about you, Rich?
yeah, no, I I agree with Mike. That was perfect. Yeah, the technicals are a reflection of what's going on for sure.
What do you use?
You gotta know what's going on.
What do you use for it?
Oh,
What's that?
forex.
Sorry.
For
Forex.
Rich, like where do you look for fundamental news? Like where do you base it off? Forex Factory, FX Book, like where do you look for news?
I use Forex Factory, and then if I'm like on my phone, because the Forex Factory don't have the app, I use the FX book.
So it sounds like, well, I mean, I'm in agreement as well. Fundamentals, I mean, like you guys said, the technicals are just a reflection of it. And at the end of the day, the fundamentals, the macro, the policy going on, that's what drives everything. So what I found is the deeper I get, the more fundamentals are what drives it. Like I'm just more confident in that statement. Getting to the next question, how many trades do you guys take per week? I know you're both swing traders. So how many trades do you think you take per week?
No, I would say, yeah, I'm a day trader. I'm definitely a day trader. Per week, I can't, it's hard for me to say. It varies. This week, like I wasn't supposed to take any trades. I said I was taking the whole week off. But I think I took two or three trades this week. They were all losers. And I said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. I think by Tuesday I was done. I was done trading. I was done trading, but it depends on the market conditions. It depends on the market conditions. I do much better in trending markets, and it depends on the market conditions. So when the market conditions are conducive for my strategy, it could be anywhere from 2 to 8 trades a week. When you have a week like this past week, at least for me and my strategy, it could be 0 to 1 or 2. So it varies.
Fair enough. What about you, Rich?
Yeah, it varies. I'm kind of looking right now at my dashboard, and it seems like I maybe do maybe no more than 5 a week, depending on what's going on. But the last probably week and a half, I don't think I've done more than especially like this last week has been crazy. I don't think I've done more than 3.
Yeah, and being a swing trader, like, you struggle at all with the time deadline with the challenges, knowing that you're kind of more patient.
Yeah, the challenges are, a little bit of a challenge that way, but yeah, you kind of end up doing a little bit more. I guess you put a little bit more risk once you get maybe a little bit closer to the end. Like, I mean, myself, I'll be up front. The last challenge, I ran out of time, and I was in profit by a little bit, but I ran out of time at the end there. So
Yeah, I found that when you're swing trading, it is quite difficult to be patient with the challenges, but you just have to do it. And if anything, if you're getting close to the time deadline, you just leverage a strategy to try to hit like one trade and risk certain amounts so you don't fail, but you just try to hit it at the end. But yeah, it's definitely a bit more challenging if you're just swing trading. Someone goes 3 to 5 trades. I've done more. I've done 1,000 trades in a month. What was I
oof.
hitting? Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Ooh.
Yeah. That's why
How's your
it's
nerves,
so
buddy?
literally so interesting. So we'll go with one last question here. We're gonna end it off. What is each of your favorite educational video related to trading and why?
Are we talking about like just strategy, or are we talking like basic, forex
Anything,
stuff, or
anything.
man, I think I said this in the beginning. I'm an ICT trader. I love his stuff. I love his rants. I love his material. Everybody that trades SMC, they got it from him. He stole it from him. He's the originator of it. ICT. I love his stuff. I absolutely love his stuff. I love the rants too. I enjoy his rants, but he drops so many jewels in his rants, especially about psychology and trader psychology. So um, anything by ICT, I love his stuff.
What about you, Rich?
I don't know if I have one right now. I haven't really watched too many videos lately. So I don't know if I have anything useful for that question. So I apologize. I don't really haven't really been watching too many lately.
Yeah, it's kind of once you're in it, that's it. You're not in the educational world as much, but seems like the ICT traders, like are you Mike, are you still watching videos ICT related like at all, or at this point are you graduated from that?
No, I still go back and watch some of his videos. Like there's some stuff that sometimes I just go back just to kind of how when you're studying for something, you may not look at it for a while, but you go back and just to brush up on it. So yeah, I still go back and brush up on some things like, oh yeah, damn, you know what? I forgot about this. So just like trading in the zone, I read that at least once a year. So to answer your question, yes, I do still go back and watch some of his stuff.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys both hopping on for the session. Got the late Friday one in. So anyone that's on here, we are gonna do a giveaway. If you have any final questions for them, go ahead and post it up in the chat. I know at least you, Mike, are pretty active on Discord in the Funded Trader chat. So if you guys want to hit them up, I mean, don't bother them, but if you want to hit them up, ask any final questions. You guys went through a lot, so I really appreciate y'all hopping on for today. I wish you guys the best of luck, and yeah, enjoy the holiday, and thanks again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
thanks
you're
for
welcome.
having me,
You're
and
welcome, Angelo.
yeah, appreciate the
I'm sorry, go
opportunity
ahead,
you give
man.
us, man. It's great.
Yeah, this is the first we did like first style that we've done with kind of podcast. Two people on here, but you had said this in the beginning, Mike. Like it's kind of comes down to whether we allow EAs, whatever. We're gonna continue to do our best to offer this opportunity for everyone. Within our means, and you guys keep trading. Keep obviously trying to take advantage of the opportunity and showcase your skills. But this is very much two sides to this coin. We got to do a good job running the company. You guys got to do a good job trading, referring to your friends, whatever. Like hopping on here really helps out to make more people know about what's going on. And I just think it's very early with TFT, like with all this stuff going on. I feel like anybody could be doing this stuff on the side, kind of like you guys are doing. So congrats again on all your success, and yeah, thanks again, guys, for hopping on.
Thank you for the opportunity. And honestly, Angelo, thank you for just being so transparent with you being out in the forefront. That really convinced me to come over and give TFT a shot as well. So thank you for taking the time for putting this prop firm together, for wanting to be the best in the industry and providing this opportunity for traders all over the world. So my hats off are to you, and thank you for straightening out my capital raise also. And I'm looking forward to the instant funding program. I can't wait until that drops. So thank you, and my hats off to you for helping create TFT and the other guys that help create it as well. So thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, man. We're putting in that work behind the scenes.
Absolutely, and that's one thing I admire, and I think everybody sees that. So hats off to you guys.
Cool. Well, that's it, Rich. You're in Jersey. I'm up there because my parents are from there. So maybe at some point we could actually meet. I'd love to meet as many people as possible with what we're doing. So yeah, man. Keep
Yeah,
killing
absolutely.
it. If there is an opportunity, like we do a meetup or something out in Jersey, you should definitely come through.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm always looking to, because there's not too many, there's not too many people out there that do it or even could understand it. So you tell some people and they're like, what? So yeah, I would definitely be down for that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, everybody enjoy the Friday. And yeah, let's just keep it going, and I'll catch you guys on the next session. So talk to you guys later. Peace out.
All right, have a good one.